Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and really appreciate you guys checking out today's video and spending some time with me. And guys, today I want to share with you one really important thing that I've learned about bass fishing when you're pitching and flipping, and that is the rate of fall on your lure. I want to talk about this a little bit today and sort of describe the situations and sort of give you some guidelines on how to pick the right size of sinker or the right size of jig to match the rate of fall to the mood and the personality of the bass, because a lot of times it makes all the difference in the world whether you're going to get bites or not. So we're going to get into that in today's episode. Also, guys, before we get started, just a couple quick things. I'd like to invite everybody to please swing by and check out my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns that I built for Fish the Moment. Great resources to learn more about your favorite lake, or if you're going to a lake you've never been before, these maps will be just right up your alley. So I'll put that Fish the Moment lake map breakdown link in the description. And also, guys, Tackle Warehouse has still got their 35% off sale going on right now. If you guys are wanting to get some tackle, not a better time. And I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link in the description. If you guys want to use that link, it's a good way to help the channel out as well. So I really appreciate that. Okay, one of the things that I've tried to master in my bass fishing is pitching and flipping. In fact, that every major tournament I've ever won, except for one, has come pitching and flipping, jig or soft plastics or something like that. It's a really good way to catch quality fish. It's a fun way to fish, and there's a lot of variables that determine how you catch or how many fish you're going to catch. It includes just the area that you're fishing, the line size you're using, the color of lure that you're using, the type of lure, the profile. But one of the big things is the rate of fall, how that bait falls through the water. Either sometimes triggers a fish or doesn't. So I sort of want to give you just a general, guidelines to go by on this. And like anything else, it's like there's always exceptions to the rule, and you have to listen to the fish. But here's what I found out about the rate of fall. Number one, the clearer the water that you have, if you've got one end of the spectrum there, you got muddy water on one end and you got real clear water on the other end. The cleaner the water that you have, the faster the rate of fall normally that you want with your pitching and flipping. So let's say, for example, you're pitching and flipping, bushes or boat docks or trees or whatever, and that water visibility is 4 foot, which is pretty clear. Obviously, if it's 4 foot clarity, the fish are going to be a little bit deeper, and you need to get that bait on the bottom quick. So in a clear water situation, I'm normally using 3/8 to maybe up to 3/4 ounce, depending upon the situation. There is some correlation there with your water temperature. I swear, guys, every time I do a video, there's a dang charger or crotch rocket that goes by. But the water temperature in correlation with that water visibility also has an impact there. But most of the time, I'm not flipping and pitching if the water's cold. I mean, I flip and pitch if that water is normally over about 50 degrees. So the water temperature has a little impact, but not as much as the water visibility. So clear water situation, you want to go heavy with your heavier weights. The next, on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you have muddy water, say the water visibility is 6 inches of visibility, this is a situation where you want to go to a lighter weight, like an 1/8 ounce or a 3/16, maybe no more than a 1/4 ounce, because the bass cannot see that lure. They can't see it falling, and therefore, God dang, noisy bastard. Therefore, if the water's dirtier and you're going to be fishing shallower because the water is dirty, you want to give the bass a little bit more time to find the bait, because they can't see it falling. They're going to feel it, and they're going to sense the vibration in the water. Takes them a little bit of time to get over to there. So that's why I normally like the little bit lighter weights for the dirtier water. Now, everything in between, let's say that you got 6 inches of visibility on one end, 6 foot of visibility on the other end. Everything else in between that spectrum, you adjust accordingly. So if you start out at 6 inches of visibility and then you go up to a foot or 1.5 feet or 2 foot, then you go up in your weight a little bit. Go up to your 1/4 ounce, 5/16, 3/8, depending upon the situation. Another thing with that is the type of cover that you're fishing can determine the rate of fall that you have too, because if you're flipping and pitching over an object, like you're over a tree limb or you're over a bush or a branch, it's going to naturally slow the fall of that bait down. So sometimes if you're fishing a little bit thicker cover, you have to go up to a little bit heavier weight in order to get the same rate of fall that you would with a lighter sinker if your bait was not over an object. So that's another factor. Wind is also a factor. The calmer the conditions, the easier you can get by with a lighter weight. The windier the conditions, sometimes you have to step it up a little bit. But the main thing that I have found about it is you have to experiment and see what the fish want that particular day, because the rate of fall, it's affected by a lot of factors. Water clarity being number one, but the other factors again are the water temperature, the species of bass that you're fishing for, the type of cover that you're fishing for, the time of year, how deep the cover is. So there's a lot of factors that you sort of have to, go over in your mind before you make that selection. But don't think in terms of just like, oh, this is good enough, and I can fish okay with this weight. You want to really refine it, and you want to experiment a little bit to try to find out what the best weight is, because there's always one bait that's one size that's better than another, and until you experiment, you really never know. So just keep an open mind with it, follow those general guidelines, and I think it'll help you get more bites there. So anyway, guys, good luck out there, and hope you catch them. See you.